Hi there, it's Jen. It is Friday, May 16th. I'm here with you live. If you're there as well, please let me know. If you're catching the replay, please let me know. I go live here every Friday and I make a Stampin' Up! Card from start to finish, so I'm happy that you can join me. So the first thing I like to do is to do a draw for the card that I made the week before. So let me just pull this in here so you can see it as well. And this is the card that I made the week before, and I've been focusing on the in colors. So last week, it's been a week. It feels like a year ago. Last week I was focusing on Timid Tiger, and this week I'm going to focus on Darling Duckling. So in order to get in on the draw, all you have to do is to comment, to like, or to share my video, and then you'd be in my draw. So let's just make that happen now. As long as you're Canadian and not a demonstrator, you can win. So let's see who we've got here. Beth. Beth got her card. She says, it's beautiful, Beth. It looks like you're winning again. So thank you again for commenting. I appreciate that. And I'm glad that you got your card. You're getting another one. So let me just stop this share. And like I said, to get in on this week's draw, all you do is to comment, like, or share, and you'll be in the draw automatically. Okay, so I'm just going to pop right to this screen. I'm going to say hello to my friend Nicole. How are you today, Nicole? Always great to see you there. And let me show you a couple things first before I get started. As always, if you do not have a copy of the new annual catalog, looks like this, please let me know, and I'm happy to get you one as long as you don't already have a demonstrator. The other thing is, because I'm coming to the last color today, these are all the in colors, the 5 colors here, and they're just repeated. I thought I would just show you this beautiful card, and I'll put that up on my website so you can see that, but that's got all the 5 colors in it. And today I'm going to focus on Darling Duckling. So let me just see if I've got the other ones here handy. They seem to have all fallen, but I had a bunch like this for each color. So for Darling Duckling today, that's this color here. You can see it is a yellow. It is more of a muted yellow. So probably the closest color is Daffodil Delight, but you can see that that is quite a brighter color compared to the Darling Duckling. And then Crushed Curry is a much darker color. And then we've got Lemon Lolly, which is a very pale yellow compared to that. So although it's similar to Daffodil Delight, it has more of a muted tone to it. Also, I've just pulled in Lemon Lime Twist and Granny Apple Green just to show that there are some green tones in this paper. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm going to do a card today, and I'm going to pull in a tool that we don't sell anymore. It was called a Stamparatus, but there are companies that sell a similar thing. This is called a stamp positioner called the Misty. So you can Google that and try and find one of those. But for a big stamp like this that I'm about to use, I find I like to use a stamp positioner. So this stamp set that I'm using is called Layers of Beauty. And it's not new. It's been in the catalog for a little while. So it has the stamp set, which I've already got mounted on the Stamparatus, a die set, which cuts out all of those pieces, plus a few more greenery pieces, and a label, which is nice. And it has a set of masks. Now, the reason I'm showing masks is because, well, first of all, I've never shown them here. Also because I had one of my projects in my newsletter this week was using masks, so I thought I would show you that. In fact, I'll just pop my banner on here for how to get my newsletter in case this is new to you. And you can check that out and then you'll know. So I'm going to show you how to use those masks. So step 1 is we need to stamp this image, and it's very large, as you can see. I've already mounted it in the Stamparatus, and I'm going to take a 1/4 sheet of white. This one has a little bit of goop on it, but that's okay because I've already got one stamped, but I just wanted to show you how I do it. So I'm going to lay these magnets on here. This isn't really a tutorial on the Stamparatus because, like I said, we don't sell it anymore. But the glass plate, the acrylic plate takes the place of a large block. And what's nice is that if you have any issues at all with pushing down on a large stamp, you know, arthritic hands or whatever, then this kind of makes it easy to do. A lot of people have like a little hockey puck thing that they rub across there. The thing I really like about it the most, if you can check out that image, and actually here, check out one that I have stamped already. You can see that this is just a bit darker, and the reason is you can go back over it, especially with a large image like this. I can see in the middle it's not that dark. and I can add more ink because it's going to put it in the exact same spot. It's just a really nice thing to have. So there we go. It's beautifully stamped now or inked up. In fact, I think I'm going to just use this one because it looks even better than my original one. So like I said, unfortunately, we don't sell that. I'm hoping someday Stampin' Up will come back with that, but for now, they haven't. So, okay, so I'm going to take this piece. This is a little more involved what I'm doing today, but it's super fun. And in the end, it's actually really fast for coloring. I'm just looking for my tape. You know, I get everything ready to go, and then I tidy up and I lose things. So let me just grab some more. This tape, this one here doesn't have a label on it, but it is on my website under Jen Recommends. And I'm just going to take off that banner right now so it doesn't annoy you too much. And I'm saying hello to Carol as well. Is Darling Duck similar to Wild Wheat Retired? Do I have any wild wheat? I do have a piece of wild wheat. Hold on. It is not. You know, all these colors are similar, right? And depending on what you put them with, they look more similar or not. Wild wheat is darker. So here's wild wheat underneath, and there's Darling Duck. So you can see Darling Duck is brighter. This is definitely more of a brown tone, whereas you can see this is more of a green tone, and this is definitely more yellow, whereas this is again tending towards a brown or a taupe. So good question. Those comparisons that I do that I will put on my website, I've put on one already, are all based on current colors, none of the past colors. So that was a good question because that color just retired. So I'm taping this piece down. I'm using my glass mat, and so this set of masks comes with 5, and they're labeled. I don't know that the camera will pick that up, but that says 1 on there. So I'm going to lay this down here, and there are notches you can use for positioning, but I find it easiest to just figure out where this goes. And so you're starting with the biggest one, which is number 1. It's going to cover the most area. So I'm going to just get that in there. So hopefully you can see what's going on here. I am basically just getting all those flowers there. And then I use a piece of tape again to make sure that doesn't move on me. And I've got some blending brushes here. And I have labeled them just for my own use when I'm doing this. These are just little things I bought off Etsy. They just pop on and off. Something someone 3D printed, which is kind of fun. Okay, so I'm going to use my Darling Duck right off the top. But you could wrap a piece of tape around there because I've got 5 brushes that I'm using right now. So I just needed to know that I had them separated. If you were doing this yourself, what you could do, and you had maybe say only 2 brushes, what you could do is start with the lightest color and move to the darkest, and then you would be fine. Another trick, of course, that wouldn't work if you were moving to the lightest to darkest, but you could do one at a time. If you were making, let's say, 5 of these cards as a gift set or something, I'm going to grab the ink while I'm talking. I'm just grabbing a light amount, and I'm very lightly rubbing it on here. And I'm just trying to get the roses to start. So you could, you know, have 5 of these ready to go, and you could do each of the 5 layers, just repositioning the mask each time. And then move to your darker colors. So that would be another thing you could do. So there's the roses, very light. I might just go in a little bit darker here, just a little bit darker. Okay, and ideally, not ideally, but I think the design of this mask is that you would also color these little wee tiny flowers the same color, but I'm not going to. I'm going to color them a different color, which is why I have the extra brushes here. So I'm going to use, and actually I don't even need 5. Because I'm going to do this one, use it twice. So I'm grabbing a light coating of the ink. This is Balmy Blue, and I'm just lightly brushing it on these extra little bits here. I'm going to be super careful not to go over the rose because, of course, blue and yellow make green, and we don't want green flowers. So there we go, and I got a little bit there. That's okay, because, you know, flowers are not perfect in nature, right? So. Okay, so that's fun. So let me just peel that off so you can see it so far. In fact, I'll hold it up even so you can see it, so it's better. You can see it's just a nice light coating, but how easy is that, getting all that color there? Nicole says, I thought Wild Wheat was more yellow. Yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, all these things, right? Depends on what you put the colors against, what they look like. But yeah, Wild Wheat is definitely darker than Darling Duckling. Okay, so I'm going to grab now stencil 2. Again, you probably won't be able to see that, but it's right there in the corner. So I'm going to lay this on here this way. And I found this is, let me just position this here. There was a way that I was able to tell really easily. Yes, the little flowers, if you can cover the centers of the little flowers, because there's two little sort of tabs that cover the centers, that is the way to get this in the right position. Just cover those centers like so. Okay, so then I've got a little piece of tape there. I'm going to add another one here. And oops, I just moved it. It's okay if it's not perfect, but obviously we want the best we can get. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with the balmy blue. I'm going to grab a little bit more ink this time, and I'm going to rub harder this time, trying to stay away from that yellow if I can. So what it's doing is the mask is getting smaller each time. So it's going to just highlight different areas. So I'm going to go in with the Darling Duckling again. And again, I don't know. Oh yeah, I have another brush for another reason. And then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to press quite firmly with this application. You might even be able to sort of see underneath that I've got some lighter colors and some darker colors going on. It's just a really great way to color with these masks. So you'll see that in just a second here. Let me pull this off. So check that. Oop, check that out so far. So we've got some nice gradation of color, looking very vintagey, which I like. Okay, and then I'm going to add the very top layer here and just tacking that down. And this one was a little trickier to find the, oh, that'll help if I put it the right way. That's the other thing, the numbers, you can then see which way you're going to go. So again, I found if you covered up the flowers, I'm sorry, this is a little bit off the camera. Here, let me move the camera a bit. Covered up the center of the flowers, not covered them up, but exposed them this time. So that's going to be the center color. Then that was a good way to position this. Okay, so I'm going to leave that like that. Like that. Oops. I have a habit of moving it after going. I just came in from a walk with the dog and I'm sweating, so I think that's part of the reason I'm moving here. So I'm closing up the Darling Duckling and the balmy blue, and I'm going to bring in the crushed curry, which again is a darker yellow. So I've got this brush here with an orange tab on it just to show me that it's a darker color, and I'm going to rub that quite firmly, and I get all of those areas with the darker yellow. Okay. And I'll look to see if you have questions in a second. I'm just going to close that and get it out of the way. So all these, you can rinse them off. You can wipe them off with a wipey if you want, whatever you want. So look how gorgeous this is so far. Even with my little bit of blue-green color there, it's very beautiful and vintagey. So I love it. Okay, so then let's add the greenery now. So I'm going to add this one here. This is number 4. And again, there was a trick to lining this up here. These flowers right here are the best ones to line up. Not flowers, leaves. I can't believe I said that. So I'm just going to line those all up. Like I said, I'll check your comments there in a second. Whoops, again, I just moved it. Silly me. Just move it a little bit back. Of course, this tape I've had on here for a little while. This is repositionable tape, and you can use it over and over again, so I have used it a few times. Okay, so I'm going to grab Old Olive, just because, again, I want the more vintagey looking vibe. So Old Olive is a more vintagey looking green. And I'm going to go just lightly with my first application, all over the whole thing. I don't even have to think about it this time. So I'm doing all the open spaces in here. Nice light green. Nicole says, beautiful. Hello, Nicole. Did you see that you won? Did you log in? Were you logged in? So look how gorgeous that is already. And now I'm going to add in the next one, number 5. I'll put it up the right way. And again, I'm going to line up those big 3 leaves. So again, it's doing the same thing as the flowers did. It's just doing a smaller part of the leaves just to give highlights to them. So here we go. I'm going to go with the Old Olive again, but darker this time, more ink, rubbing harder. And wait till you see the result. It's so pretty. And there's a few different masks. This is, like I said, an older one that we've had out for a while. Okay, so let me just close this up, move this over so you can see the big reveal. How beautiful is that? Isn't that absolutely stunning? You can see all the variation in color, the shading, it makes you feel like you're an artist. Okay, so that removable tape will just come right off. And then my brushes, I just rinse them in the sink and reuse them. So what I would like to do is to take that die set here, which is this one, and cut it out. So I just saved us some time here by cutting it out already. Right here. Here we go. So there it is, all cut out. And this one does have a little bit of bleed there too with the blue and the green. So I actually just took a marker and just tried to blend that out a little bit, but it's so little. And because this is a very vintagey looking version of these roses, it's okay. I think it works fine. Okay, so I also have here the exposed brick 3D embossing folder. And this is what it looks like when it's embossed. Hoping you can see that. It's again very vintagey looking, and I've got the balmy blue which I used, and I've got the darling duckling. So let me just put this part together. So I'm going to fold this. Of course, I'm going to save this and use it for another card. Fold this in half. Evelyn says, beautiful card, love the technique and color. I'm glad you like it, Evelyn. How are you doing, Evelyn, with your eyes? I hope I'm allowed to say that on there. I just see there's a little bit of rough edge on there. So here's a tip. You can take like a sanding block. This is not something Stampin' Up sells. We used to sell something like this, but we don't anymore. It is just a nail sanding block. This was a piece I grabbed from my scrap. So, oh, you know what? I'm just looking to make sure there's no ink on there. And so obviously it was just a bit rough. Must have needed a new trimmer blade. So you can just take that sanding block and just sand away the roughness. There we go. Looks good. Okay, so I'm going to attach this piece with the brick wall onto here. Now these were both cut at 5 1/4 by 4. Actually, this one might be just a little titch bigger, but then when you emboss it, it shrinks just a teeny tiny bit. So I've got a nice thin layer of that darling duckling on there just to bring through that color, but the base is the balmy blue. And then I'm going to put this on here. I want to make it so that I can still open and close the card so it can hang off the edges a little bit. Now, I'm just wondering, I put my other one, I'm going to change this one because the sample I did another way, and then you can tell me which version you like the better. And of course, we're going to do a greeting too, but let's get some dimensionals out here. So this is a time that I prefer using these edges of dimensionals because I can take all that long piece here and I can just stick it right down. Ellen says, I can see out of the left eye. You just have to have the right one done in June. Oh, good. I'm glad that you're recovering well from that surgery. It's amazing what they can do these days, isn't it? Do that one. We'll do that one. Okay, and that's all of my dimensionals used up. So let me grab another sheet here. There we go. And I'm going to add some more. This is a big piece, so it's taking lots of bits. Don't need the scissors. Okay, so let's peel all this off. Okay, so you know what? Well, I'm going to peel it off. I'm going to ask you your opinion here. I've got with me, this is one of the ephemera packs that has greetings already in it. So there's all these greetings, and I think one of these would be nice on here. There's a birthday, a thanks, best wishes, happy holidays. I don't think that really works. Missing you, sending hugs, thinking of you. There's also a black version. What do you think I should put on here? I thought there was a get well on here too, but maybe I used it already. Anyways, what greeting do you think would go with this? What do you think would be nice? So tell me what you think, and I will do that because this will be the card for the draw, and then I'll show you the one that I did already. I don't know why I'm not throwing these on the floor. I usually throw them on the floor and then sweep later. Okay, so I'm trying to make this opposite to what I did before. Well, that's what I did before. So I'll make it go like this. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And I like the white background because then the white that didn't die cut here, it really works. So how pretty is that? Okay, so birthday or thinking of you. Birthday, I see 2 birthdays. Okay, so birthday it is. So now we have a choice. Do you want the black one that's white on black, something like that? Or do we want, I think I saw another birthday in here. This one's really large. This one might be too big because it's going to cover up too much of the thing. I think that might be too big. Let me see if there's another birthday in the, oh, here's another one. Happy Father's Day. That's not really good Father's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Okay, so happy birthday. This is also big, but it's a little less obtrusive. So there's that one. That might be nice like that too. Actually, I think I'd like it up there. So which one? Black or white? Or do we want something else? Let's just see here. I saw someone said, thinking of you. So let's see what we got here. There's a teeny tiny thinking of you. That might be nice too. Okay, what do you guys think? I like the black. I like the black. Okay, black it is. So, and because we did birthday, we'll say birthday. So this is going to go on here. Remember, this is on dimensionals. So I'm going to put tape here and then a dimensional there. So I'm going to start by flipping it over and put tape there. And then I'm going to need a little teeny tiny dimensional. And I've got black ones, which is nice when you're using black things. So I'm going to grab a black one. Oh, and it's just going to fit. If it didn't, I'd cut this in half. Like that. Let's see, is that enough? Maybe one more. So I have a little envelope that I'm going to put all that in so I don't lose those pieces. Just so you know. Okay, and then this is going to go right here. Happy birthday. How pretty is that? Is it straight? It's straight. Oh, so pretty. Okay, you know what? I wonder if it's too late to go up a little bit. Carefully, just because I don't want to cover the rose. I'd rather cover the leaf. There we go. So pretty. Okay, and then let's pull in the gems that I've used before doing these in color cards. These are the in color flat pearls, which again my in color club members get with their in color. So I'm going to just add some of these here. Let's do one here, large, and then we'll do a medium and a small, like that. How pretty is that? Don't you love it? Okay, so let me show you my original. And here we go. There we go. Oh, Evelyn said white with some color. That would have been good too, Evelyn. Like take that one, you mean, and like add some color to it. That would have been a great idea. Like this. Let's just see here. I've got a Darling Duckling marker. So yeah, that would be fun. So I'm not going to color the whole thing because it'll bore you to tears. But for example, we could do this. So here's my original one. Obviously, I put the roses a different way and I put a different greeting. So you got 2 samples there. So that was the light daffodil duckling is not what it's called. Darling Duckling. I don't know if you can see the differentiation on that, but I colored the top half of that with the light and the bottom with the dark. So that would be pretty too, eh? With that, it would totally match. Would be very nice. Anyways, do you have a preference? Do you have a preference on the saying, on the orientation? I'm really not sure because the roses kind of look, they're very 3D looking. That one looks good down, but so does that one because of the shading. So I don't know. They're both beautiful. I think they're lovely. And I think that, you know, this set of dies is so pretty. Like you could do like a really bright pink or a rose. For a rose or like a purple, you could do whatever you want, but I like the kind of vintagey look. It's very classy, and so that Darling Duckling definitely does that. Oh, hey, Robin's catching the live. Your screen is blurry, or is it my eyes? Well, I'm not sure. Everyone else tell me. Is my screen blurry, or is it Evelyn's eyes? Now remember, Evelyn just had eye surgery, so now that being said, I usually clean my screen. Hold on, let me just do something for a second. I usually clean my screen before I do My just shut off the camera. Oh, I think I just messed it up. There we go. I don't know if that's any better, Evelyn. Let's say. No, screen looks okay. Okay, so it's you, Evelyn. Just need more time to heal. Judy says, very pretty. Nicole says, she says, I prefer the thinking of you. I might too, and I think the only reason is because it's just size, right? It's more geared to the right size. So maybe Evelyn's idea of this will work well too, just for size. But I do like that. It looks like it was white embossed on black and definitely more focus on the flower. Okay, guys, so that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're catching the replay later, just let me know. And I'll be back again next Friday making some more stuff. And if you haven't already signed up for my newsletter, make sure you do that. I'll just throw that banner back up for a second so you've got it. Just go to stampwithjen.com and you can sign up to get the newsletter. So thanks so much. Wishing you all a wonderful long weekend here in Ontario. I think maybe across the country. I'm not 100% sure on that. So enjoy whatever it is you're doing. Hopefully the weather cooperates for us all and we can get outside and enjoy some nice warm weather. So thanks again for watching. Take care and I will see you all again soon. Bye-bye now.